Hey, welcome to lesson 6, and I'm going to tell you I'm super excited. I've been waiting, you don't know how long to give this lesson. I actually like this way of using AI. So today I want to show you something that might completely change how you think about learning. Because for most people, learning something new feels slow. It feels overwhelming, and sometimes it feels like it's just not for them. I mean, you open a book, you watch a video, and somewhere along the way, you get lost, or you get bored, or you get stuck. And when that happens, you stop. Not because you can't learn, but because the process didn't work for you. And believe it or not, that is the problem. See, most learning systems are designed one way, one speed, and definitely one style. And then they just have like one approach. But people don't learn that way. People learn differently at different speeds with different levels of understanding. I mean, we're all unique. Come on now. And this is where AI changes everything. It changes everything, just like levels the playing field. Because now learning can actually adapt to you, not the other way around. And let me explain exactly what I mean. Imagine trying to learn something like investing. You could watch a video, but maybe it's too fast. Or maybe it's even too technical. Or maybe as soon as you already know certain things, that part I hate. Now, before you've even gotten started, you're behind. Now, you're confused. Now, you are frustrated. And that creates friction. But with AI, you can say, explain investing like I'm a complete beginner. And now the explanation adjusts. Excuse me. If it is still not clear, you can just switch gears and say, break that down even simpler. Or give me an example. Or my favorite, break this down like so that an 8th grader could understand it. Now learning actually becomes a conversation, not a one-way experience. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, that is powerful. Because when you can ask questions, learning becomes active. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say you actually want to learn something new, for real. Now, not just understanding, you want to learn something new. Maybe develop a skill, maybe it's digital marketing, maybe it's coding, writing, starting a business. And for most people do not know where to start. So they don't start at all. That in itself is another form of friction. Now, I need you to pay attention. Watch what happens when you use AI. You can actually say stuff like, create a 7-day beginner plan to learn digital marketing. You know what? Now you have structure. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and it all falls in line step by step. Now you're not guessing. You're actually following a path. And that, believe it or not, that removes a huge barrier. Because getting started actually becomes easier. Now, let me tell you something even more important. I know previous was important, but this is even more important. AI doesn't just help you start, it helps you stay engaged. Because when something doesn't make sense, you don't have to sit there confused. You can actually ask, explain that differently. Give me another example. My favorite, test me on this. Now learning becomes interactive. And Interaction is what builds understanding. Not just watching, not just reading, but engaging. And it's a whole lot cheaper than taking those courses. But I don't want to get into that. Now, let's talk about another problem people face. This has happened to me before. Information overload. There is so much content online right now that people don't know what to focus on. Really, it is. Excuse me. You watch one video, then another, and at some point, it all blends together. And I know you have experienced this. It's called the YouTube rabbit hole. With AI, you can simplify that. You can say, summarize this topic in simple terms. Or you can actually say, what are the most important things I need to understand first? That prompt alone is a lifesaver. Now, instead of drowning in information, you are actually focusing on what matters. And you know what? This leads to the most important shift in this lesson. AI doesn't just help you learn faster. It helps you learn smarter. And I say it helps you learn smarter because now you control the pace. You control the style. You actually control the depth. And you know what? At the end of the day, you can actually slow things down. And if needed, you can speed things up or go deeper when you are ready. And that's something traditional learning doesn't always allow. It doesn't. And then you got all that debt when you finish. But again, that's for another time. Now, let me be really clear about something. AI is not a replacement for real knowledge. It's not a shortcut to mastery. You still actually have to practice, apply, and stay consistent. But what AI does is removes the barriers that usually stop people before they even get started. It removes confusion. It removes hesitation. It definitely removes that feeling of this is too much. And when those barriers go away, disappear, not bothering you no more, people actually continue. So, if you take one thing from this lesson, let it be this. AI turns learning into a conversation. And when learning becomes a conversation, it becomes easier to stay engaged. It becomes easier to understand, and it becomes easier to keep going. Because I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, learning isn't about how smart you are. It's about how long you stay with something. I vote for that. And AI helps you stay with it. And that's the important thing. You got to stay with it. Hey, guys, thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys for the next lesson.